In the past, I released a series with crafting tutorials, but I did not cover too much the topic of meta modifiers. So in this video, I wanted to explain to you what meta modifiers are and how to use them with crafting. Now, meta modifiers are very expensive crafts from the bench craft. They are usually at the bottom of suffixes or prefixes. So for suffixes, you have prefixes cannot be changed. Can have up to 3 crafted modifiers, cannot roll caster, and you can see that they are very expensive. And for the prefix, the only meta modifier, its suffixes cannot be changed. Because of that, you can use a beast called Wild Bristol Matron. And this beast, what it does, it guarantees one meta modifier. And if your item has 3 suffixes, using this beast will guarantee suffixes cannot be changed because you already have 3 full suffixes. At this point into the league, this beast is quite expensive, 1.2 divines. It's still better than 2 divines you pay at the bench craft. But at league start you can buy it for 0.4, 0.5 divines. What suffixes cannot be changed does, I'm going to show you immediately. So let's just say that your item has strength. And if I craft suffixes cannot be changed, whatever I do to this item, it will still have this strength modifier. Suffixes cannot be changed does not stop me from adding another suffix. It will just simply not change the suffix that you already have. If your item has, for example, more modifiers, let's just say that it has these two prefixes. Let's add a suffix because I removed the previous one. So let's just say that I added the suffix item rarity, and now I craft suffixes cannot be changed. In this case, if I'm going to use an orb of scouring, the only suffix that will remain is going to be this increased item rarity, and my item will turn from yellow to blue, to magic. So now you can allow your item to use imprints. This is more advanced, usually for mirror item crafting. Suffixes cannot be changed, can be used with harvest reforges. In general, meta modifiers cannot be used with essences or fossils, but it can still be used with reforges. If right now I have suffixes cannot be changed, and I'm going to reforge chaos, it will guarantee me chaos resistance and some other suffix if possible. Like this. It will keep the item rarity and it will add chaos resistance. Let's give another example. So let's just say that I have a very good ring. Let's restart. So let's just see that I have strength tier 1 and intelligence tier 1, and I would like chaos resistance. What I could do, I could go to the bench craft suffixes cannot be changed, and then from harvest reforge chaos, it will keep the suffixes and it will add a chaos resistance mod. So this is one use of the suffixes cannot be changed. Another use of suffixes cannot be changed and also prefixes cannot be changed, it's going to be with Veiled Chaos Orbs. So you can use this with Veiled Chaos Orb, you can use it with Chaos Orb, normal Chaos Orb. You cannot use it with Orb of Dominance because that would be too broken. However, what's usually used in mirror tier crafting, these suffixes cannot be changed. It's going to be Orb of Annulment. So let's just say that I have a prefix like this. And I also have a very good prefix that I don't want to get rid of. I would like to keep the maximum life, and I also want to keep the suffixes. In this case, I don't use a scouring orb, I'm going to use an orb of annulment, and there's a 50-50 chance to remove the item rarity, like this. So this is usually used in meta crafting. Another thing that I could do, for example, let's just say that I have perfect strength and intelligence, the rolls. When I'm going to use a divine orb, I'm only going to modify the rolls of the maximum life and the item rarity, and it will just simply not touch the rolls of strength or intelligence. Like this. No matter how many divines I use, this will not change. The prefixes cannot be changed, it's the same thing. Now let's talk about cannot roll attacks, cannot roll casters. On the suffixes, if you go to the bench, you can see that you can craft cannot roll attacks, cannot roll casters. When you craft cannot roll attack or cannot roll casters, it means that your item, if you are going to use an exalted orb, you cannot add a caster modifier or an attack modifier depending on what you crafted. And at the same time, if your item has an attack modifier, and you're going to use an orb of annulment, it will not remove that attack modifier. But cannot roll attacks cannot be used with scouring orbs. It cannot be used with reforges. Obviously, Veiled Chaos orbs and Harvest Reforge are out of the question as well. I'm going to give you an example of how I would use cannot roll casters or attack. And for that I'm going to copy my wand. So let's restart and import my wand. My wand here has veiled increased cold damage, which goes up to 79. There's a way to make it a better wand, but that would be simply too expensive. I really didn't like crafting it that way, just because I didn't want to grind 6 to 7,000 divines to get 30% more cold damage. But here's how you would do it, and it's usually used for mirror items crafting. You go to suffixes and you craft cannot roll casters. After your item looks like this, you craft cannot roll casters, and as long as I have the cannot roll caster crafted on my item, I cannot get rid of the +1 cold or all spell skill gems. It's just simply impossible. And at the same time, I'm never ever going to exalt a caster modifier because of this craft. So I used exalted orbs, and at this point I would use orb of annulment to try to get rid of that prefix so that I can use exalted orbs again. Once again, use orb of annulment, exalted orbs like this. This is something that usually is not used in cheap items, although there are a few items that are worth 10 to 20 divines that are crafted this way. Another example would be to craft an amulet, for example. Let's restart. If I wanted to hit +1 all cold spell skill gems, I could craft cannot roll attacks, and because I have 3 suffixes, it's going to guarantee me a prefix, and there are only 2 prefixes with the tag of cold that can give me. But since I have cannot roll attacks, there's only one cold modifier that can give me, and that's a prefix, and it's +1 cold, like this. There is a chance that it will remove +1 all skill gems, but usually it will always give me +1 cold, like this. And the last meta modifier is going to be can have up to 3 crafted modifiers. pretty self-explanatory. This is one crafted modifiers, and it allows you to craft another 2 modifiers like this. So I have my suffixes full at this point. I can craft another prefix like this.